I'm going to do a pellet comparison in my Ruger AIRGUN 177 caliber pellet rifle. I want to be shooting at, golly, what is that, 20 yards, 21, maybe 22. It ain't 25 yards, and it's a little over 20, so somewhere in between there. And that's what I'm going to be shooting at from a rest in a sandbag. So here's what I'm going to be comparing. GAMO power pellets against the GAMO Rocket Superior. And I've got these Polymag let me see if I can get a little closer. There we go. Premium hunting pellets. And then I've got the Crosman pointed premium grade lead AIRGUN pellets. And the last are these Red Fire made by GAMO. And that's what they look like. They got them little plastic points on them. But first, the scope that came with this Ruger AIRGUN was beyond cheap. I couldn't keep it zeroed. I'd get it zeroed and shoot a few rounds, and it would be completely off the paper. And it was a cheap-ass Chinese scope. And this is actually a fairly good scope, but somebody gave it to me. It's got an adjustable objective, and it's 3 to 12 power. And I had to put some shims onto here to get it up high enough where the bell wouldn't rub on the barrel. But and supposedly these, unless a scope is made for an air rifle, they don't last long. But somebody gave this to me, so I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna put it on there and use it. The other one was even worse, and I'm terrible with iron sights because well, I'm 52, and there's this phenomenon that occurs where with your glasses you can see the rear sight, but you can't see the front sight, and without your glasses you can see the front sight, but the rear sight's fuzzy. So you got to use a scope when you got eyes like mine. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. But I got to zero this first, and I'll zero it, and then I'll compare all these, and I'll show you what I got. Well, I had to change my old scope. I had to take this scope off and put the old scope back on, and I finally got it zeroed. And somebody gave me this. It's a Weaver, and I actually mailed this to Weaver because they have a lifetime warranty, and they mailed it back saying it couldn't be repaired, and they gave me like 50 bucks off a new one, so I just went ahead and bought a new one. And here's what it is. It's missing this screw like this. It's missing that up here, and this is the first time I've had it out and tried to use it, so I'm just going to junk it. What the heck. Alrighty, I'm fixing to start shooting these off now. I got it sighted in. I just want you to realize that each different pellet is going to have a different point of impact, most likely. Like I've got this Crosman stuff zeroed in the black dot, and if I shoot a GAMO, it might not hit in the black dot. So what I'm doing is shooting for group size, not on the black. I just wanted you to understand that. Alright, my next clip will be of the results, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot 5 shots of each at each dot, and I'll write beside it what it was, and I want to take a pair of calipers and measure the size of the group, and I'll write that underneath what the pellet was. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm done. The results are kind of unique or interesting. If you find ammo comparisons interesting. If you don't, this is going to be a very boring video. Anyway, this was the worst. I'm going to show you the worst and the best right now. This was the Crosman. Oh, sorry, I showed you the French part. Where's English? Dadgummit. There's English. Pointed premium grade Crosman, really bad stuff. This, where are you? This was the best. And it comes in these little torpedo looking tubes in this package right here. GAMO Power Pellets. This was the Crosman Power Pellets, the worst right here. 3 1/4 inch. It might not have been so bad if it weren't for that one, but that's just terrible. And I actually sighted the rifle in using that one. Here's the best. Now I know they're not on the bull, but I wasn't actually shooting to get all my rounds through that. I was shooting for group size. So what you would do when you have 5 different types is you would find which one shot the best in your rifle, and then you would take that and sight it in until they were all on the bullseye. So that was the best. 15/16 GAMO PowerPoint, and that's that stuff right there. Okay. Two 7/16. That was the Predator Polymag, and it might not have been bad. This one, I don't know if it was me or they started off looking pretty good. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for this flyer, and I don't know if it's my fault or not, it would have been 1 1/16. I would trust this stuff, you know. 2 7/16, and that is that stuff right there. The next stuff was the GAMO Rocket Superior, and that was that there. And this was pretty good too. 1 3/16. That's the second best. GAMO Red Fire. I did learn some things. The scope that Ruger sent with the rifle for free is it's not parallax free at 25 yards. It's set for I think 100 yards, and parallax set for 100 yards makes a huge difference at 25 yards. It could be as much as 1/4 to a 1/2 inch difference if you're not aware that the scope has parallax set for the wrong distance that you're shooting at. If you don't understand parallax, you really should, because if you use a scope often, it's something you should be aware of. Another thing is the depth at which you seat the pellet into the barrel. If you don't set it the same depth every time, you are going to have a slightly different point of impact. And then another thing I've learned is recoil is really strange on these air rifles, and it takes some getting used to. These groups could probably be much smaller if this was done by someone who was really experienced with air guns. I'm not. This is my first. It's kind of fun being able to shoot in your backyard and know that it ain't going to go through the woods and take out your neighbor's dog. They hate it when that happens. Well, I hope it didn't bore you too much. That's my ammo comparison. That would be my first choice, and this is going to be the one. They're really expensive, but I'm going to sight the rifle in with this and shoot this exclusively. So I had fun. Thanks for watching.